Tashe adawbenya hono ko CD Herbal Center ya wo ye CD ointment ni CD capsules no e wo la shibi Sharam Sport ya e ben 19 Johnson na ko tie se general body pains ne ko todwe eye no ya ne e ko na poso honam ya CD ointment enti few days shrim e ko ya wonum di CD capsules shrim e ko wonum CD capsules no na wo the CD ointment so e massage na menya ni nyina bi wo he pharmacies chemical and herbal shops dodua for 050 5767 425 and 0209 682836 apemfo abata wo mo manufo ne nkwada wo ne fiedum yenu nka ho FDA ahwehwe sa edwodie nkra to mu agya atum sey mu amaswa ne so abre na makoma abubuo onyame nam nidifo prophet Dr. Nana Mankwa the restoration prophet so ebe mo manya nidaso oye founder and leader at the Life City Chapel International ewo ayi mensa off a Brito Boot Road ano oye onyame nipa wiemremu onam ne so bubu mponkyere abasem 20 nkwanua nyina onyame difo edijumadi e friend the restoration hour ebro yawo da bia ewa Accra 100.5 FM so 12:30 AM ekwesi 2:30 AM eye nyame sam ene mpaibo emu ohye fra prophet Dr. Nana Mankwa ewa 02085931129 and 0597434210 the restoration hour with the restoration prophet Dr. Nana Mankwa tie now be insura
Kofi guys, addict, and what sombo. Go, Osode, Etienne Miwi. We know what's seen Nantia, Ope. Osode, yeah, we are prophet to Ansah, or be need by Yawa vessel. Dr. Dway. Yeah. Edu Herbal Clinic. And I Jimmy Sanu. Little phone. Any Manko. That's one Kosiaga. Nina Korea. Edu Herbal Clinic. Said the Uncle for AC Campo Edu Herbal Clinic. No, so my idea Edu Swa. Now what how one casa. Stroke I have 40 symptoms. My idea pain, diabetes, hypertension, malaria, asthma, typhoid, and pulmonary, and in your power. Nina Muaya Edu Herbal Clinic. Two patches Edu Herbal Clinic. And I saw your idea. Yaribia ne hawa ko Dr. Edu Herbal Clinic. Ewa bankesim. Fred ewa 0243 989368 and 02010442221.
And cry ha ubehu Edu Herbal Clinic. Ewo Gloryland Dan Kuman Christ Ebenezer Preparatory School next to Ope. Friday ewo 0592163012.
Edek Enkwasombo.
Edek Enkwasombo.
Wabatele Accra FM. Yeah, your mommy.
Accra, hoyalo. Accra, hoyalo.
Accra FM. 100.5. Accra FM.
Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema be meti gara furukube puntimpuna si sokode. No wakanchira katabin say you. What you can say? Kwabena, keja guma mni yanko.
Ago. When you come, when you casa kakra, and when you come and when Siam kakra, men casapi. Damabara Makade. Bakans Babakakra and Makan Fancy. At long last, the battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. And here again, I want to take the opportunity to thank the chiefs and people of this country, the youth, the farmers, the women, who have so nobly fought and won this battle. Also, I want to thank the valiant ex-servicemen who have so cooperated with me in this mighty task of freeing our country from foreign rule and imperialism. And as I pointed out at our party conference at Sorbonne, I made it quite clear that from now on today, we must change our attitudes, our minds. We must realize that from now on, we are no more a colonial, but a free and independent people. But also, as I pointed out, that also entails hard work. I am depending upon the millions of the country, the chiefs and people, to help me to reshape the destiny of this country. We are prepared to build it up and make it a nation that will be respected by every other nation in the world. We know we are going to have difficult beginnings, but again, I'm relying upon your support. I'm relying upon your hard work. Seeing you in these thousands, it doesn't matter how far my eye goes. I can see that you are here in your millions. And my last warning to you is that you ought to stand firm behind us so that we can prove to the world that when the African is given a chance, he can show to the world that he's somebody. We are both working. We shall no more go back to sleep anymore. Today, from now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that, after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. We are going to demonstrate to the world, to the other nations, young as we are, that we are prepared to lay our own foundation. As I said in the assembly just minutes ago, I made a point that we are going to see that we create our own African personality and identity. It's the only way in which we can show the world that we are ready for our own battle. But today, may I call upon you all that at this great day, let us all remember that nothing in the world can be done unless it's had the purported support of God. We have done the battle. And we again rededicate ourselves not only in the struggle to emancipate other territories in Africa. Our independence is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent. Let us now, fellow Ghanaians, let us now ask for God's blessing. And for only seconds, in your thousands and millions, I want to ask you to pause only for 1 minute and give thanks to Almighty God for having led us through obstacles, difficulties, imprisonments, hardship, and suffering to have brought us to the end of our trouble today. 1 minute silence. Ghana is free forever.
Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema bemeti garafuru kube puntimpuna si sokode. Wakanchira katabin se you wati unkensen. Kwabena keja guma mniyanko.
Omampeni wedi anka e krobi din ye friend betom nti kanka ya tisa monfo ka yesi 90 million Ghana cedis campaign about work akra sunwa bebe mampeni 90 million. What it is answer man crofo kan
ma sumati bi na muhu baby adama sameno ofi munia abe ye botu wosunyane mereka chiro amala me win the daw no sidan na mka fanye 90 what's that 90
million Ghana cedis
matsida wasinyo was a budget bram na me say ibiara mfa budget biara mbram enna maraso manka ma approval na manka nchiro metena he Bobie ade kro home on the menye sika so for line mokwohwe no Kumasi meje se mutumi ya damanze na Kumasi will be transformed hwachi mota ofanko last Friday makafado na mafado no ya mesi mitaze osande hu motorist wonam do na ndema hu da wabire tete kwashi madina mafado onchare sam wadam sikana encham zebaye da mokwane medama Ghana fo mo wa akoma ton yem na Bobie osidan na eyi ho na oboto aban mehya wana horobadam ibinum odwene nyo sika ono itumuti ye bibia morkoto wana ebi impanyimfo woti dem atamesro koto wana dem sika makafa na wayen sa budget na morko akafa na budgetin atames owobi won for campaign anan krofo na waze bram mereka kire wan ibiara also piodo obra atamels 90 billion or then on fankama contractors na wo yeduma was so full line so home na zaman on fankwan kama wan na nyata me sabio bebia medri nyama na mbogu menyi mase na makafa dam sikei inti makada won hwehwem na no kwan no won kan kire Ghana fo enwuda na mresro minyenze biara obadwen dem $60 million nchemotum azamotum medaye wa ha njem wana mokwani da o de baby a ene o feel very unhappy nchemotum
ncheni what is asa wo ye wo say
oh meti da masam oya mawiro ho de bi botum watna ho na wadwen da mensame na waka na ma menyim da Ghana fon what say da masam biere believe sunyane $60 million no do general election on the German Bank of Ghana, ne make a break Bank of Ghana, na masusu sikan. Abe, mi just there. Here Jensen won't you shame no man no quarantine that one.
All right, live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show Thursday evening. My main yard is I said this week, you know, end this week, and Nyami Aduma Ochna. Friday, Omobaye a Muslimi Empire ama the late meals. Then on Saturday, Omo Abaye Jumedie Kasie a hockey. The late meals or Tiasen now hockey pan ope. And Sunday, Jumedie Kasie Basso a Asumdue Park. So it's just fair that at least it me a day by meet me and sa meet 9 a year and this by 3-4 minutes be na ya de pejam and baby the late meals will be ano. Let me do this. Company wedi anka e krobi din ye friend betom nti kanka ya tisa monfo ka na yesi 90 million Ghana cedis campaign about work Accra sunwa bebe company 90 million. What it is answer man crofo kan
ma smart bi na muhu baby adama sameno ofi munia abe ye botu wosunyane mereka kiro amala me win the daw no sidan na mkafa 90 what's that 90
million Ghana cedis
metsida wasinyo was a budget bram na me say ibiara mfa budget biara mbram enna maraso manka ma approval na manka nkiro metena he Bobie ade kro home on the menye sika so for line mokwohwe no Kumasi meje se mutumi ya damanze na Kumasi will be transformed hwachi mota ofanko last Friday makafado na mafado no ya mesi mitaze osande hu motorist wonam do na ndema hu na wabire tete kwashi madina mafado onchare some what them sikana. Encham the bayer the mokwane, Madame Ghana for. Mama Kumato him. No, but you sit then. Na, one about to aban, Misha one hour about them. If you know what you name your sika, oh no, it won't be a baby. Morocco wana. Ebi, impinging forward to them. At a mess rocoto and them sikan macafan wine. Sa budget na Morocco akafa. Na budgeting at a mess or will be for campaign. Anan crofo na was a bram. Mercature one. If you are also pure obra tamils 90 billion or then on fankama contractors na where you was so full line. So home than them on fankwan kama one. The yatamil sabio, baby made tree, yaman and burgumen massy. Namaka for them sick. Into my cada one shim, none of corner one country gun for. And with a numerous through, means the biera about them $60 million. Hey, Jamotum, other motum medaye, waha. In Jamwana, one namoquani da, or the baby in a will feel very unhappy in Jamotum.
What is as when you will say?
Oh, Metsida Massamo, or ya my ho. They be botum what no, no one dream the mensame, the waka. The mammy in the Ghana fund, what say the mansame, dear and believe. Sunyani, $60 million, no do general election. On the Jamaica Bank of Ghana, they make a break Bank of Ghana. No matter Susican. Abe, me just there. Here agencies and one shim, no man no quarantine.
All right, so that is the late Professor John Evans Atamios. Nyamia Doma Sunday. Ochna say no omo Muslimi some kese de amano. And mame emfa samre we ending komo Sunday nyame ya domo a dom Ghana for dom ya modo the late Professor Mills momeja NDC for ewo Asumdwe Park. Now when you have a reckless president like Akufo-Addo, that is the reason why Enyema Tantain we are AC Ewa Pro. You see, from day one, Akufo-Addo envy Atamils na wa envy ni sa kopim ni wom any even to say after ni wo echi because intisa Kwame Akufo-Addo ya kani menya sure say chebi amamre ya wo no ekyere ne say obi no matter nipa no ne status ewo abrabom owu na se oman ebeye enipa no na muhu bibia menya sure say bi obi aya tete no efri fie ewo ya mamre mu ni titru ni se o ya kan ni se woni onipa kro na busuafo no collaborate na emom no obontensu ni a ono nam ne ba bi oni nipa no be ye adwuma no and now ne be collaborate. It shows you the kind of person Akufo-Addo ye. You say Sunday anopa ono ne kokwo nyi do ho ye ne de Akufo-Addo ne kokwo nyi do ho ye ne de enti awia na NDC for so abaye almost so de very shameful, very shameful, very shameful. So we penny oko 80 years akaniba na se wonni saa entete no ne saa ahumobro no se obi a wawu penny a wawu na chi yenya saa. You don't do that. O wa busua se saa ayi young man no me akokwa yido enante ba ho kora na busa ne se na oni abusuafo no akasa na abusuafo no esesai ayi your friends say coastal development ayi nkwala Jeff ayi kobi fiagbani ano no Jeff enkwala ena omo kwai na nkrofo eyusu wo mo na nka bibia wo busa se so abusuafo no sesai na abusuafo no kasai sebe ya mamremu Kwame
sɛ wo papa wu a wo a woyɛ ba no kora no woni control ɛyɛ abusuafoɔ ɛna ɛboa wo agyina wɔ na mo asie onipa no saa na ɛyɛ no na biribia ɛfa onipa no ne wuo akyi no ɛyɛ abusuafoɔ ɛna wɔn no ɛbɛkyerɛ sabita frache atame sɛ abusuafoɔ mpo no ɛna wɔn nka sɛ wɔn ato n'atwene but when you have a reckless leader, and I don't even consider him as a leader, a tyrant, as a president, na onya obi a n'adwene akɔfam, and Koko was a very brilliant guy. So sad. Se Koko ama no kwan ma saa nkoda we. Samia hukunu mo. Nkoda nkete ɛna atreke no. Nkoda nkete. Eya wo jai wo ma, but for politics wo ntimi mobra. No. Only ma the crop we are to survive. Koda way, Koku koda way, a true minute ko bifi agbana unu kola way nyina. As a perfect a pyramid house, a salam down. Koda nkete. What me atran man koda way beat you. Then you lost focus. Now who Bobie, I don't want Batana say end this year. It can't be a Kufuado. No way. Because at the end of the day, he will turn back and come and destroy you. He will turn back. Or no, we are not the infinity more. And Timakoku and Yakoku, you do hold the say, and now when Yakufu do nini ye bibi. May say obedini bonnet and son with Frasasso. And that is a good father for you. One against now one sign connect Chinese on a cartoon said, or no names are grown credit with we are say. Obia wo tie me across the country ni wiase afa na nyina emfa sign baby a yesu so na so fa sign baby nso nka kia ne ke ombenya no na omo ade akura mpo no ekwaya wo mo de omo akanfo no ne e friends asantefo nam so no na wudi omo nim kwaya omo do be fa so and me mesia Akufa do nkrofo bebre a they make jokes about Koku. Plenty, meaning plenty. The Baumian nkrofo. We meet them every day. Hey, Koku show. Hey, when you are say there. Politics no sani you know. Yeah. It's never true say politics sani you know. When you don't have clear conscience, uni ahunimpa. Politics, yanya politics say a game. Me politics enye game ema me. Adia ya de chechire oman enye game. Edi se me hia wo mo okromu na Bobie wo de wo asantini na wo de wo ma wo di krofo we achinya dai. Umma me pebi ni. Se ne ene wo bakra na abaje wo de a so ahun bibia ni ana ahun suan ye wo didi a no adidi ha. No. Politics for me is not a game. Adia ya de chichire wo man enye game. Wo yesa wajimi, wabodam, wadwene wo fom, unim nyansa. Politics is a game. Politics for some of us and especially me Bobie Ansah, enye game. Politics a serious business. Eya ya de chichire wo man, na adia ya de chichire wo man eto enchirima ho, ema enchirima beto so no. Yemfa mo game, yemfa nto chacha. Game with us chacha. Yan for mind politics and to chacha. Yan for to chacha. In 2 man kwala we dada politics a game. Tembiane at the crowd. When you believe in an ideology and when your conscience is clear, you have a clear mind, mpacha stay put. Se won nima de kura o ya ana o sori a awu enti Bible says afọ no a omadwunye stable no to say ebron tete and from aba they go anywhere. Nya clear mind na ti dia wo ya na se na ti ase yie ne hu na dia wo ya no. Why not? Bawomia to Bawomia ko fa obi ba Kwabena Boadu. Why na nima de kura kum Kwabena Boadu? Obia musa ba omia. Afeso a no akoso agu akola ne na so, no okɔ ne fie. Wan anim ade kura kum sɛ John. Obia anim. Akufo adon ko anim. Enti amanfo nkonko pre musa. Sabio, here mubi ya asantefo kan. Kwajo so afriye. Obedru nkra ha na binom so omo ebehu no nkra ha. Ya ni di agora che. Da frokuma se. Me na ha meto na niema. Until say edru baby but me wo fa no doesn't mean say ubetimi ayere me amama pe ade a mempe akufo ado political leadership style mempe. And you can't force me. Ti edru baby na so obi afa ne kwai. But enti yanko back ni yanko fie yanko busa say autopsy report no way. John Boadu ni me di nkomo bi 2 days and your friend say John Wu. But some of us we don't talk. Omuma say John COVID e duro num ye wo fie Ansah no mde ne ko hospital. Everybody should call John Boadu and ask him. John Boadu ni omuma no COVID e duro so ya bibi duro. And your man be we know, but we pretend like we don't know. But I am one was a penny 78 years. Na utimima akwada egu obi busueni emu gunenu ase in the name of renovation. Menya sure say Akufo Addo busua e better chen atamese busua. No way. At least they have their integrity intact. Nti amamre mu no ubeye bibia. You contact the family. On sorry free wo krom anu obi nkonkotwe eye ne busua ni efunu emanson. You don't do that. You need to say the kind of reckless situation that you want. Penny ni mama mere, penny ni mama ne. Yantetia ni ho. Yantetia kwada yantete penny. Yantetia kwada yantete penny. Ti penny ntimi ntu akwadafo. Say ade a wo ye no ya mamre mu ye abibifo ye nya ne saa na akwada so ntumi ntu panifo akwada na bodam pani agimi nenka pani wo fie a obi betu obi fo se ade no amo ye no anya fe ye nya ne saa o kire bi wo so baba beda eye ayipa so na ubepese sabra na aban kura wote so no on treat usai on sai na on treat wa munfa sabe ye mu bi sada ne duru wa ye mprese aban be teacher bi abusuafo asi nchen se ye ma mo ma ho efri se amamre mu no ye nya ne saa Pero de wasi ubo unia tames udinatam dinatam magabi wei etimi kacha tames so ye kraman ba gabi wei efra tames kraman ba wei ade basase fratames kraman ba. And that is the reason why you see when people I mean, sometimes you should ignore him. But, sir, Obi, what's up with Tamils? That's a garbage to be free at Tamils, Kramaiba. That's a note to be garbage to said the D at transfer. Now, about them, oh, yare. About them. I believe in Atamel's principles. And minima dear best what we are saying. Many guys be better say or tenemate. I don't know. Because what he believes in and what I believe in, I mean, I believe in the light. He believes in darkness. Bible says darkness and light. Any chaka biya what we are saying. Unless Koku, you live in darkness. And that is why only you can deal with people in the dark. Sumwatum for a bay for abonsam for ubetibino madidi abom, mudidi anajo. And this how you will never do it. In our body politics, per convention, wundidi a year or competitor now opponent attempt. A kufad na shase so odidi Mels attempt odidi Muhammad attempt personal attacks. Personal attacks. Professor Doolittle, lame duck president, armchair president, or yare. No, what the kufad papa penwedi Mels yare esreno. Yes, oh God, that's recovered. Can you imagine? And when you claim that you love Professor Mills so much, that's what you need sound for way as I took Kesa. We are evil, we are bay for. We are bay for. So bay in too much. You can never do that. Bay in too much. And those who profess that they love Atamil so much, they have forgotten how they join us shoulder to shoulder. Yasoso Ansah defended Atamils against these evil people. We fought hard. We fought hard. And today, if you can go back to them, I know more to said it here. It only tells me that you are as evil as them. Majo.
Yeah, near.
Boko there.
Oh, Yankopon there.
Pacho, use your microphone, mama.
Oba there, Yankopon. Toto bonsu. Obonsu bwewia. Or the achaye. Name akaye botum.
Nada na uyimi masa. Oh, to eminu mi enu nyina na emunye.
No ze na IMF for na eba ni ntu. I say bobo e ho kwhia o. Na ye kire o mo na ekọ.
Eda ese udu botom so kire IMF for no.
Ai, ese mo hu na ekọ. Ese kroma ahye. Isi ade auto first to dokono 1 CD. Isi ano dokono 2 CD, need 3 CD.
Yes, 4 CDs na.
Ai, uko kenke boutique adabraka de obenya 5 CD kra o.
Me dokono nya aduane am nim di bebre nti
no.
Oh,
ene o hwra de pa.
Yeah.
Dokono e kama.
To banuma 70 ba ko to banuma just in the next 1 hour.
Hey,
me bre papa.
And yeah, yeah 010 nti no ye no anapa undidi ewia na akọ 41.
Me anuane am di
na imbre odi
anuane am nim di pa TZ.
Oh, and your back. TZ on your back.
Konkonte.
And on young quite free. TZ on young Konkonte so young quite free.
Konkonte. Fufu. Tubani.
Okay.
Tubani.
Ni na on young quite free. Wo the island no ho. Ni oben young quite free no.
And am no me pe nothing part aduane no more. Me pe chinkafa no me pe dia no ma ye no soche ni salad ni sa ham. Ye ni se to anu ma no manu nyinya.
So
but chinkafa no se mo kokko no di dawa
atoton.
Afra na se sawan kitinkiti bi sa no. Aha. Akola boss me totalia. No ya talia kakra. Odia guso.
And on a quick man for Intino on the Muslim could be asa. Boys, Johnny pizza near the other because someone to me and to me got to
catch over 10 years ago. So we
70 Ghana. 70 Ghana. Na adeche obedi. Hey, Maza. The boys are why shepa.
But yes, Uncle and saying, one day your friends say, Crow, nibi. What the new asuma about Taba.
Ansah open hode. Open hode dia. Obetua.
Dala Edward Dala say I Temakra de Dokrono between 3 and 4 cities.
Oh, I mean Dokono bro akosro pa. Ene chinam no. Say how I come say what to punu mo sense intino.
Oh, still.
Oh, it's a number akosro pa.
Ayi
Okoto Dokono benya red fish no kra no a bia 10 cedi 11 cedi kra wom. Intino Okoto Dokono bia wa ope one ball 3 cedi. You said also me free. Maybe 2 balls. 2 balls in a 6 cedi. Now okoto a red fish. So a 12 cedi. Let's just say 20 Ghana. Kenke fish kake.
Abre de unyanya adwuma e market 20.
Oh, Kwabena. Na the minimum wage okruma is say. Minimum wage.
Leslie Setamale omo a gali any Italian your friend Galia.
And yeah 0104 no na kasa no. Njokoto gari in Italian no that all. To afternoon come sa no a imbre ondidi o. Anapa no ondidi on nam hosa bancha about 12:31 not the one this so but this is the rest of the day you see unko na dey ache no
but you see say no so there say yeah boys no so you see aduane no a ebinum ya kwadworo too much
and so dey udika
me say me say to me fa kire ya so
obenya na ado bi wo no mo ada be fie
me ma dey abesi so di
ani amo
davitum baby
no cre
esa bi pia ma twimatari so mi pia dia wudi bia nyama kono
dabi obi anim ne wo yim
my fine dia me da my fine to me see abonte a o ka kan piski no ebusa na we hin
okay
moving pick no ebusa we hin
one we back be o say so can forget Gary no obono in social no dey see no forget okukrum
asa
oba no na the Gary na ho no don't want the game no the code back on no
but ekroma heading
oh yeah I want to okrum o share the reports aba na saying o share the global info analytics omo report aba I just say I want to know very very high. Almost 80% of Ghanaians think that the economy is on the wrong direction, and it's no wonder. Obi abeka say ekoyie no na bia odidi gabi mu na asene ade say oben akromfo no a so omu wi a kakra beka ho kakra beka so beka obusua nti say obusuafo no omo say ekoyie na mu onka ho pa de a enkoyie
because even grassroots for no omoteso minim MPP amanfo a omosre omba antenna kamkoto we okromo na menye bi na obenya amo obetumi amamba miense bi na me da konho madi bia meye sir that's what they are doing almost struggle
they are struggling
almost struggle papa
almost struggle obobofo no say okotwe otwena so a otwene bebre obofo so bebre ye na ye brabo papa obi anko ba bia yete he a okom
omobre
okom okrom papa ye na omde ani bre koto abetia jombo edu ye ni bre omo se didija da jombo edu nya no hotam
oh say usia bi na say omo kom asem kire na areho
ombebre yen so bebre
areho
many of the contractors near the idea omudi sika kwese MPP omo say John Mahama delay omo payment na John Mahama ma omo 10 event yintu no behwe enda omo say sifo omo so na bi mu ye video bi mu ye audio ne ada tututu mo video bi a tan odidi omo atem tan
na what they there that's what they there is it a crowd here there
odi omo atem basa
David overton and that's what they there
me push
akufu do wasem say eduka say otompo esa de cheche
serious
oh come in one can we spread am obi asa kabi e crowd here there
me say
e crowd here there what they there I dey for akufu
omo no dem kai sisi a anya grow
ade afa akufu ado aban ho de wonche ho quick do
the brain wa kodi tribalism echi ne or a tiny ba on Sessa Obu Amano, Yam Pamano. We had video to your office now. Omukai.
Yeah. Omobre. Oh, they tell you and they mention names and adeɛ nyina na akoye omoka na omde akosi se eja abusuan ketewa bi na age party aboso ai eja abusuan ketewa bi na age party na say me share omo business man ne baako for years me free Hello FM Kumasi na no nkasa me ho because me free Hello FM no na omako board despite amane say me yonko pa ya igbeni amene na Jimmy Agla na and for Bakumasi na mama omo platform Hello FM enti na aye hu and na beside ne ayi etanam Kumasi I be void dem to mu man film tam so mu dem bekume for za grofo we na ono de kura de na de hu so say Togo ni ne fa Togo da ne fa ga enti na chese ne
asekra
agame na me to be free wori nyina na NDC pap oh me yonko pa o woni me yaka chese me kokuma sna fe de me frɛ no a onuane ofori special eyes na omo nan fofuo ni bi na say me kokuma sna me hia baako ohumia oh Kwabena minia na me hwera ni ai Kwabena meti won ka che na to be honest na me nim se machia na onye so and me hu no baby me wura no ka me twam to yes na atom so Kwabena ai na why come say na so nyame adom otwe me gina nchen uni amadwuma say o
e be say
na oka wadwuma say na nkomo ya me de na so betwe ko gina ye
oh ne ba ne say
na so brade ni nkomo na ye dai kafra wo chance ye bobo so but anim de mentimi anka because minimum ame
me the video bi ama Kwame ma no mbonchro na di me gu otin office na waso ne phone dey so na okasa okay upon kuma you are ashamed
okay so yengo goti upon kuma kura de ye estate numu ayi abrante bi a ne papa wo filling station wo dev track said o si bua upon kuma
chichi amu da mu nyina so ena no fayi se otwere mpo kwamba se yi adom ahwe musoma adetepa achem le pese me mamu nkra bi na mu ka kire information minister upon kwadwo nkroma me mani she code ni time e mo na ni mu pons metna review so e me kan kire yese o man no e ko ahukire mu na man ne ko IMF na coronavirus ana ma o man ne ebre ha kwadwo nkroma so we Kwame Nkrumah say we enne upon kwadwo nkroma I don't know we are very shame man na o ka sa me won fere asema akwa ni film cabinet a o be kan won fere we are very shame na I respect you but we say we shame coward the baby we are coward they say and say we want many so be catch on man we are very coward kwadwo nkroma we na me catch on me give the garlic I'll tell you me say mamudamo because Russia and the Ukraine are kontokwa o man Ghana ye fa ho ben Russia and Ukraine na ye aduane o man Ghana ye fa ho ben coronavirus ka mo tin wo koma no wadra ye di good the whole Nigeria botokra ekumu coronavirus ka mo tin nyina no oji NDC ko IMF o kasasa am ye sanwai ko to ba di NDC me ka obi ye tunity am me no busuafo me ka obi ye campaign here NDC mo afia me ka sama ye campaign me busuafo ye tiamo and be mo to be pa bonefo mo di yira dia ba mo di musa mo di kasa kese mo sa ba kase se mo ko IMF na ye am ko tiamuka akoma ko excavator mo di excavator me di etrekawo mo to ba ko kura di na me de rente si filling station mo ko sa say to go to sa excavator nyina amna excavator mo di go mo to le wan amna go nya mo ja na fie mo hwe abato ta mo do na mo ba to tiamu happy NDC nya NDC beba obi come no be man and say we don't tell we now we tell we what your problem we shame to about kasa we say coronavirus ni covid na ma ahonche economy to be very mugu like you over kase over seko let me go to church let me go go to we am hand court one excel over the kase say coronavirus On me jack another pay crap. Me who was some who have like a cano to be down street. We are shame for the pong woman. Then I say, man, what information, man? The church, I'm with a moon last year and I'm not paying. So, Ukrainian Kwabena say, yeah, don't. I came so much at the action. The person, the man, Kwabena, catch information minister upon Kwabena Kuma. Men manage code, need time. And more than you pons,
see, say, I want to about Susano. Business a collapse. Wabra na worry that so senko business empo be na what to me anya more money what to me am fa go feed ma more na mo omoba no business ni egu a eni bre sa na de bekasa o
yeah
eni bre say na am for de bekasa and more be bre no a kasa oh sometimes one wonya come from Charlie Senia go from my six form iti mo de pressure mo for pressure nto so na aban de mo lusu wi mo lusu wi wi mu na ya bo mo ya ni sia den si bio Omo kase bi omunum ekasa. Ye papa yo say ono edi obusuanim ekose omu na lie ye adwumatia NDC. Esa so koto aba e de ma MPP se MPP mbedi aban.
Yeah.
Wenu no ho. Ono hwe obusuo. O ka ne excavators ne ade ho asemi. Ono hwe obusuo.
Yeah.
Hwe ne office. Hwe ne cabinet esi ne office. Hwe ne jacket obie. Say in comparison with the ministers ne ebe wie sika de akoto ama omo ho no one de e kra no e gam wo enti enibre na ama na ba ne sa wo sankrofo ya pain te sa omo de enibre be kasa sei ebufuo so
yeah
eni bi na boy si de enibre akoto nsu egu o se echemenza bonsu ho a ende ato na atase on
western region so ya so ma block kwai say o ma kwai nyo
me say me encourage magazine boys no say a bucket color by 2024 the omon block Accra Cape Coast kwai no a bucket color
ade
why boys mo we say boys bo buy ya park isi won mo so motutu park na be na astro tep mo ye mo magazine
so the issue at Mankasim Ninya a quiet no.
It's not the road. But if you are putting the boys out of the omedi jumweni, yeah, the omudi jumweni, ye say ye near Juma, ye will fee, ye be no so obe man aboye. Who are seizing us from enjoying that park na ye wono. Who so be an astro theft. No be an astro theft with their mind. No by your may you to 2 wager hokwa. For how many Manta. Oh, say yeah all day. And everybody have block road no. See, Kwabena. Nia boys na any daswo a woman say. MPP are buying within 18 months. You could for the small mamma within 18 months.
Yeah.
Messi sound my Ghana. I'm a Ghana. I bet to say near Taiwan, Hong Kong, South Korea.
He said it.
Good. Into boys when he does what say about. Sisi enye adwuma wo NDC aban mu NDC aban se yen twen kakra wo se ye ba 18 months pe wo tenete amayen wo ba ye wo 6 year wo 6 year a wo te abandwa so ni wo se ni ye de gigi yen ni kwa no o ma na boyen edwuma o promise order mayen no edwuma na mba one de se one fight wo se obabie edwuma mo Ghana ni babie nya bi aye you are not coming to tax us. No, you are going to move us from taxation to production. And some are only 2 years. And then, you know, Mujidi, Kosa, like Kotaba. No, by any Medjuma Gua, was my video. Oh, by the Medjuma Asaya, was my Kasa. Oh, by a Juma me Mesanka. On my factory come will be on Mancassim Monomo. I may name tea. The
Basanya Mancassim Guana Ghana.
Na say we say one that's one fantin fantiman but threat me all day man fantiman so factory be na we si ofa ni pasan dey adwuma na mo ye mo produce dey you see enti say aban no entumi endi ne bosse so a eno na di ebufuo e de ba amanfo mu no ne atwa me ne kura ne say ne economy ne sete a obe take over 2017 no sisi an wajrega economy no here nikuta me say memorandum of minister of finance nakasa or the core parliament just last week say approve $1 billion facility man no any memorandum to Parliament by Honorable Kerufurata, into bracket Minister for Finance, on the syndicated term loan agreement for the sum of $1 billion, 8 June 2022, and not draft to that document.
Yeah.
Finally, a call Parliament last week for consideration and approval. Mekai page 3, paragraph 3. Page 3, paragraph 3. Or say, the transmission mechanism to Ghana's economy is that non-resident investors in our domestic bond market are pulling out of the country. So, I say non-resident investors in our domestic bond market are pulling out of the country. That means that abrofo no edi omusika be say Ghana economy ni mu say ombeto are buying bonds. Our Ghana no. They are pulling out of this country. Omo esese omusika no efi oman ni mu. Enti ye 1 billion. Reasons for the Parliament ni bi ni o. He goes on to say, I say, from a high of 35% share of holding in domestic bonds, this has reduced to 16% as at the end of December 2021. Say December 2021 e me no. Nanka Ghana you 35% of abrofo omo musika be share is a bond market no. Bond market Ghana for edu musika eto bonds companies edu musika eto. Say shemu a 35% na ya abrofo no musika ba as of December 2021. Sisi e ka say about do 15%.
Just a airdrop.
Who? That's about 20%. 20% of the volume of bonds are nanka echo abrofos enchemino. That means that the white men in Europe, in US, in China, and whoever, Lebanon, the Asians, the Caucasians, whatever, they no longer have belief. They don't have faith. From December 2021, 6 months time.
I see.
35%. This is 15%. That's a 20%. More than half. What you say? That tells you how bad Ghana's economy is. They say Monday, Minister of Finance say or the media budget review eba. Adi asamba na wabe ka kire besides wabe quote Bible. Wabe satare fita. No aka kire say abane ne akwa IMF na omo IMF na mo kɔ de musronko. Omo IMF na mo kɔ no sika beba no edoso dodo. Ebenya honey kura wo mu. Ebenya milk na yenya de meat yawe aka ho. Almost omo de omo IMF na ekɔ na esronko. As say the IMF na joma makɔ no IMF no na okasoa. Omo de na Washington. These are the lies that they are going to say on Monday. It's clear. Opa onimi tunchia. Obesha tarifufu. Fita akodina Parliament. Now we quote Bible. No aka chere so de akwa IMF. Na IMF no de ekɔ no de eye honey. Ne milk.
But it seems anyway, obi send a message be or say mankesi master tef no omaye. Ewa Ajumaku Road. I want to.
Yeah, it's not Ajumaku Road.
Anya Ajumaku Road. Anya Ajumaku.
It's a Zongo ho baby.
So, a school park.
Yes, school park.
Oh, okay. Then he is talking about something different. Okay, so your friend say, Obiso send me a message. Say, Koforidia, I say, stadium the same thing. Oma and Gweje, Ena, Omo, Eja was okay. So Francis Berg says, they have destroyed Koforidia Sports Stadium too, and I can send you the pictures. Okay, so send me the pictures, through my producer. Another issue, Yamako Kufo says, will be something is boiling at a Fija Kwabre. Some demonstration be with them plan. If the lady doesn't give them what they need, I swear, some serious Yawago pie give Francisca. Okay, so Francisca cry so could be now. These are the issues, but or say, are you an pen? Nipper say. Mamo a confused. So what do you want?
A confused. It is not in Infantiman. It is in Gomoa West. What it is on your way to Apam. That's Gomoa West. Okay. Now, how many people has it employed in the district? How many people has it employed? What's every district is going to get? How many factories you have established? Confused. How many people does it employ? Do you know the unemployment rate in Ghana? According to Statistical Service, almost some year last year, the unemployment rate in this country currently is about 13%. Unprecedented. Now, sorry, I must say confused. How many people can it employ? Let's get serious in this country. Look, if the government really want to move Ghanaians from taxation to production, the government couldn't have come to introduce COVID-19 tax. The government wouldn't have come introducing sanitation tax. This government wouldn't have come to even mortgage taxes that were there already and extend its lifespan. ESRA was supposed to be existing for 5 years. They've taken the ESRA to go and take as collateral to go and take a loan facility, making the ESRA to last for another 7 years. Why? This is a government that has just gone to take has gone to Parliament to take a 1 billion. And Onyemu 750 million. Do you know when we are going to start paying? After 3 years. After 3 years, you are not go far away. No, so
obviously, Sky Ombedi.
Of course. If you read the memorandum, document I'm going to call Parliament.
Yeah.
Almost you have a Konongo to just so quite and to team memorandum now minister of finance the Parliament. We are broke. What's come memorandum now? Or say our foreign reserves, so in terms of foreign music, I say or money no more true music I call back on a crown. I said Ghana buying a couple bosinia needed to us our for a car.
No music at the core.
Music at the core. Into you a just so quine on up on the corner go quine up you. If the government can do that road, if the government can build that road, they are buying between me and say, and so trust Kagum. And so I'm call Bank of Ghana near print it. Maybe about 10 billion a mom. First tranche, you're comparing another 10 billion mom. No more contractors now. Now we are the sir. You are only going to create inflation in the economy. You say your inflation rate, we are just about 30%. Yeah.
Even your
every cost and co are doing 3%, 4%.
A buying figure.
Real inflation rate in the market is crazy. Yeah, be an eka once a me. Last year, I took a 5 CD Okruma, and a 4 CD, and a 3 CD. This right now, you are buying it at this. It would compare last year price and any buy now price now. It is not obviously not 29%, but the government is telling us that it is 29%. Granted, it's 29%. Uko chesika kum kocha contractor ka wabra contractor no was expecting you to have gotten the money genuinely from this 1 billion facility. Now 1 billion no, which them upon them no say our foreign cover. What they bought a buy no buy. Sanya yen default to our investors for. Because the temptation is that say you default here, you go to Lebanon and Sri Lanka way. Say Embredu say Bidim Sika be say Ghana president good morning. Bidim Sika be say Ghana memu. Sika na bia $50 million. Na me mpe Ghana biom ti me twi Sika ko. Now see me to me ama. You have defaulted. Who default to pay, the economy will sink. We go Sri Lanka or Lebanon. Entina minority for eco support and say, hey, Munjena a basabasebiamba because we want to protect the democracy that we have. Esa who ye na basic room ha. Tinet send is Sri Lanka. Where presidency na mafoko guho and president Nipu kwa no mujo.
But when him say Akufo-Addo and na owo opposition. And ababi who actually say ya.
Ene ko otubancha bongum.
Obebena si.
What to bancha bongum.
So man be shekra.
And say pro. Now wait, I'm say Anthony Cabo. If the NPP does not win this election, Afghanistan. What does it mean? Afghanistan then is one. Bomb there to
say no graduate. Elections mu akasakasa. But in reality, say Akufo-Addo at opposition. Na say abanya obekọ distress mu say.
Aye.
Obem making sure say obe charge out to or mine.
Of course. And so you know
now osai wo 137. 137. Now when people akwa kam e wa America.
Or my. Or not Chemanso.
What not Chemanso. And then got the BNC.
Go to Betty.
Oh yes. Akufo will do it.
But only be.
But this abon simple.
Initially, arrangement no. You calculate insurance and a payment for the book runners near the idea. And they guarantee a woman. Now about 35% of the amount of money no caught into those things.
Yeah.
Etina, His Excellency Joma Maka say, "Sa 1 billion with the conditions attached account with the. You go pass 1 billion. Na Ghana buying and can say buy and send baby 700 Ghana 700 million na day. We need $1 billion to protect the economy. What kind of agreement agreement you know about $250 million for the brokers no more far facility buy any insurance guarantee near the idea. Then you say oh yeah Dana Kabi oh yeah Ansah. It's a normal say penny. Finally, and a document finally on backdate anyway. But they've reduced it. We are not going to pay just about a total interest of about 6.8% per annum. We are upfront. Your upfront guarantee is 1.75 flat rate. Legal fees $75,000. Legal fee $75,000. Unim companies na.
Legal firm.
Unim mama.
Gabi firm.
Bobie said mama. I'm from Parliament. So when they approval, to approve I'm number award. They say, sir, legal firm we and take it. So Hanamo $75,000.
But the point is, Ben, $1 billion no. And I'm going to say, IMF, we just need a little over $2 billion from the IMF if negotiations are more go through. During COVID, yeah, I'm out $2 billion. What $2 billion?
Now, I mean, if
the government declare $1 billion, it's not like $2 billion. What
it is not the money. You see, they say they say, IMF no more kono. And yes, cut $2 billion no more pool because $2 billion. I'm the who play jari. And so much. What they need is that IMF for the bemu say ya befa Ghana economy ni eba be sie according to this agreement. My investors know almost so musika ede kono. Ometan so aso mu echiaba. That is what they need.
Apart from that, other credit facilities or muhi and almost abeka. But the point is, what budget?
Oh, and then the second year and 10 year. What second year
because those credit facilities when you be that and you're so near be that.
Say 2 billion. 2 billion. It is nothing. Why? It is 2 billion or they converted back Ghana. About 16 billion. No, the other. No, collapse banks across also the 22 billion and the collapse banks.
Can you imagine?
It was 16
so
billion.
Which means what the more than $2 billion now all per free IMF no?
Yes.
In a good banks.
But in fact the IMF 2 billion open can and so banks no good no and so.
A new 22 no.
That be end 22 no.
Obi checking my 22 billion Ghana cedis in dollars. I say I'm out for checking no more fan sending me here.
It will just be around the 2.5.
No, but it doesn't make sense.
That's what. The agenda is that when I talk about Akasa, or say the agenda of the MPP regime was clearly to take control of the commanding heights of the economy, such as the financial sector. 1. First thing. 2. To take control over the politics. Usage of people who are quasi-military forces as MPP soldiers to be able to intimidate the opposition and control the politics, control the election system. 3. To influence institutions like public service, who becomes a director all the way through the electoral commission. Just remove the electoral commissioner, put somebody there so we can control the governance system. control the judiciary.
Okay, so Frank has sent him his round figure, $2.7 billion.
Exactly. So in time say, so $2 billion on per World Bank, no, and so no, sika almost say to collapse the banks, no. And wait, say if they didn't collapse the banks, then whom point here say by now come $2 billion what IMF.
Because we have that money.
Exactly. It's like I say, can since can be then can but
the point is, and yes, as can in the name of a banking sector.
And as I told you, I just say the banking sector.
Baby.
Time about your audit and be here in all kidney problems near Wuko. Here, say here kidney problems, you know. Say dialysis. Until over back power, say over by your audit, no, you Wuko. It's
Skanaka.
Aye. Say me wu a utimi tumi be dase e wo court ana enti no asabende hwe Sir John wu ye special prosecutor say o investigate Sir John properties. Court say the special prosecutor is going about fishing, so wapa na wunti yamfa forever sa enti me so a say mo me dialysis ya me da wa na I choko I so to gbe e hye o kai to gbe oh e to gbe hye left and right no mi sa no enti ebedu be 2025 2026 na me wu ko enti na ba ne sa uko bi sa hwan it's enti what Ramona Tugba is saying is say MPP aban no eba abemu with the mentality say control Ghana aman no sikasem as a political party, not as a government, as a political party yen fan conference so yen control omo mbe threat no yen collapse omo sisia na yen take control we are a cab is be say Bobie yen bone yen fan gu omo companies no omo court cry yen to omo ntwene yen control. Two, I say control the politics of the country, no. Until yen fire your boys, a question military mu, yen show mu uniform, yen mom khaki, attire, yen mom call your macho near the other. Near you should have boys, no, and
right up, no, I was saying now, Ghana's Studies Association.
Yes, Tamale.
Tamale. Okay, so make me my points now, various points, because I think so raise about 8.
Yes.
Yeah, about 8 points. So, Professor Ramona Tugba, then University of Ghana School of Law has detailed some 7 extreme plots by the ruling New Patriotic Party to ensure their Break the 8 agenda is achieved at all costs. 7. So, okay, so Yanko quick. Break the 8 has many more elements, even if stealing election 2024 and installing a stooge.
Yes.
Is at the nerve center of it.
Yes.
Even
if Kwasia because we cannot leave power right now. Break the 8 is part of the agenda.
And right, we need somebody to cover our ass.
Yes.
Okay, so the element of the clannish edifice of Break the 8 number about 100, broken down into many thematic areas. So first, a concerted attempt to obliterate or at least devalue, including in the basic textbooks that we use to teach our children the history of our nation, the central role of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah in the nationalist struggle and the early years of national reconstruction and his enduring legacy in Ghana, Africa, and around the world. And to replace that with a very inadequate alternative, dear Dr. J.B. Dankwa, I will euphemistically call this project the Founders of the Nation project.
That's the first project,
that's the first
I see a change Ghana for in our drain, sir. And you're coming, come on, I Ghana see her. Name JB Dankwa. And a year, Jumani na no Ghana see one. Ten year coming, come to Mamma Fat and I see a B. And come. That is one of the project.
Second project, the financial cleanup project involves the identification, discipline, emasculation, strangulation, and destruction of every source of financial power.
That's right. Say into senia sikabaka kodi opposition phone same. And I'm near opposition for no conduct cran that say no time I will come before we feel no. Only some before bine NDC for be Eddie Agro Mudi Bom near I don't know. You are a danger to the survival of the MPP because of that. As I say, you feel financial sector. they take you over. What you say? And you say bank be to say Unibank, money GM Bank mono, more yes, more to honomo, yaba power. Name me a sha. Possibility say more consume me come out of form money, I don't go money I don't know. Money and this for no a tabo. It is the danger some would do sick of command this for the baby 2 years or Bemudia. I see a good bank no. Near Magana for reason, you do go bank no. What you say? Yes, of course, said it's an opportunity to make money.
So the third point, the project involves the capture and buyout of all other parties and some elements of the major opposition party again. With financial incentives at a scale never seen in the last 30 years. So that these parties and elements will be at least neutral and at worst attack dogs of the opposition and ready and willing to call the 2024 elections for the stooge.
Let's say, we start a program, you know, Ubo bidding.
Yeah.
The same agenda, no, oh, you quite don't come, you use your Monday, or yeah, is your damn poor money, money at the other. That's the agenda.
But, Ben, the danger is that there are other elements within the opposition parties. On
the quiet, yes.
On the quiet. But who can end this for Bofu? And so I didn't AC.
And say it was at the tripartite committee to find out.
No,
you see, we have to fish them out. Look, that's why somebody can go and record the NDC chairman at a meeting or whatever it is, and the tape can be distorted. They can muffle it and then say that because of that we are prosecuting the chairman.
So all this meeting,
it's all part of the grand agenda of the NPP.
Now, as some chairman can
yes, it can muffle the voice and put it there. That's what NPP can do. That's the agenda. That's what the prof is lifting the agenda by the conduct. This is the agenda. This is the agenda.
So they are buying everybody around.
Of course.
And that is the danger, because right now no. And I know meeting be say unim baby I 3 am
communication.
And they are talking about how to enter so
and there. So the agenda
Bobie men can say. Then I ask myself, men can say
the strategy is that say omu no declare as winners of the elections are. And so many elements within these political forces to call for calmness. That munja momo.
In the big party secretary no abeka say dear enya yes so what secretary no and I say be a youth organizer and I say be a chairman crowd be come boa.
Obia, you see the moment they have gotten you know, you bet me you should say you best sort out into catch obia so obia fan the permanent to form. That's all. You see, that's what Professor Tugba was saying. That they decided to control the politics this way. They have people within the political parties who will even help them to legitimize their theft. So illegal.
So the fourth point, I'll say. An instance that at the micro, meso, and of course the macro levels of the public services, there is unalloyed absence to the political leadership for good or for bad, extending to formal and informal attempts to replace anyone suspected of even the least disloyalty. Dismally reflecting in the removal for the first time in our political history of the vice chancellors of public universities.
So, purely on suspicion of party
political disloyalty.
University of Education Winneba
UCC.
Winneba UW. Okay. For the first time since our fourth republic, we have a president and a government that can manage that. This vice chancellor or university. Meanwhile, the university by law are supposed to be autonomous. They are supposed to be independent on their own. Okay, I see it here. And now, Professor Iti, I could see a tow boot. University of Ghana Legon.
Yeah.
A training all that. And a man, Bibulati. I could my nice script to say, bubu near eba opongro because so much such a G2 toe opongro no a be cost traffic about pongro kwan mu. You cannot remove Professor Haiti. Professor Moss cannot take the power of the president to go and set a council. You should remove Professor Haiti because he's doing something against my government. No.
So which means Omo I use that fear tactics,
of course, to
gag the academicians. Because a moment kasa system no be.
Yes.
And Monsieur Professor bi o catch them say one day okoye lecture bi owie no. A man for ban fear na Johnny ni be di nkomo say ma on lecture ni bi. Yeah. And Oboni Panidi in straight.
Possible. They can do it.
Pennies, I want to be intro.
Oh, they can do it. In fact, they intimidate headmasters of senior secondary schools who are complaining about the implementation of free SHS that they do they are overcrowded and chess near that PTA 4 number boy. Even if you call on PTA. Parent Teachers Association. If you call on especially the parent to say donate sikam from both school now, what headmaster near you ready? So how much more a university don who is speaking? So most of the university dons who are bold enough to go on radio and speak against the government, almost to too many are you.
Yeah, but a bit musu bebre say a go for the war position no. Such people no, the MPP will come to your aid when they feel say when they are buying enya.
Yes.
They come to your aid.
Yes.
But Bebre no also slow because NDC will not come. NDC will not do anything to show solidarity. And they will just sit back and watch you for you to fight your battle alone.
It used to be the case, but no longer. I know there's a system where people who are bold enough to speak up against what is going on in the country. There are some people in the NDC who work towards such people. I work in the civil society forum, so I know how some of the efforts are being made. And yet in the character, you see, first what you must understand is that under Rawlings government, they have used nukes. They've used UTAG, University Teachers Association, and they've used, AGI, Association of Ghana Industries. They've used Ghana Medical Association. They've used all manner of, labor front forces and academia and all that to do a certain level of agitation against the Rawlings government. Calling for democracy and all that under the Rawlings regime, that we should return to democracy and all that. In fact, DJ they used it. It's one of the reasons why.
Led by Afeni Dazi.
Of course, Gift Afeni Dazi, Kabra Bleamihe and co. So they've done it for years. They have the experience. But then this, they only think about coming to government to come and do roads, do hospitals, build it for them, give this. No. MPP, they don't do politics that way. They think that what you do, basically you collapse a bino. That's what they think about.
No, what else about Chichediana or baby papa be? The better collapse a bania befadia can near we are saying.
Fine.
That is what they have been the UP tradition they have been doing.
But the understanding is that even if in the MPP UP tradition, there's a clash between the Kufuor and the Kufuor faction.
Yes, because Kufuor are liberals. That
is fair. That is fair. But remember,
they don't think.
Remember, from the Dubois to Kufuor regime, or now to a Kufuor, the MPP has a tradition, a history of working with these people who are non-partisan. These people are non-partisan. Christian Council, Ghana Medical Association, Association of Ghana Industries, Tertiary and Education Workers Union, Teachers and Education Workers Union, and all manner of these groups.
So which means agenda or more use watch
for years.
They
are experts at that.
Yes, there are experts also our NDC, but maybe NDC yes I believe no say they can do it.
Oh, they're doing it right now. What I know, some of them, they show support that. Look, and we are happy with what you have said and all that. If you have any concerns, tell us. If you need security, we'll help you with security. If you need any protection, we need protection to survive this government. That assurance is being given.
The fifth element of Break the 8 involves the incubation of parallel security forces.
Exactly.
Some forcefully integrated into some regular forces and some not.
Yes.
And the use of these guns for hire for all and any forms of physical violence.
Yes.
Culminating, some have argued in their deployment for election 2024 against the backdrop of real or orchestrated evidence of terrorism, violent extremism. So clearly they are trying to...
And robbing the election.
Yes, they are trying to put some form of groups together and training boys. And
Polafoko told us, say, he wasn't aware, say, Kufa mercenaries, Abakrum, say, training MPP, tax, from say, invisible forces, how to assault the pillars of power. That's the code name. You could follow the man, sir, mercenary for a back room. You can mercenary or Obia. You can want a pa, Sebe, Bekan, when you could young call into we ask the baby a con a war to say Libya, Sisia, Oko Syria, Oko Afghanistan, near the idea. Mercenaries, you farm, I got to you. You got 2 bombs near the idea. I was out chrono so, head Basabaseba. A kufa ko fast ankro fuebi, Eba Chrome ha. I don't know say aguna shedro ehwo baby bush say ye could train MPP invisible forces amo assault to the pillars of power, assaulting the pillars of power now code name na e de mom no e kire say money aban no ninjina so omo mu so aban na so oni omo nkontokwa. That is the code name, assaulting the pillars of power. Enti say ekufado say oye yi na no. Why? Mercenaries in training boys. The boys are now also empowered to be trained. So after training them, the boys will also become trainees. They will also they will train. They will become trainers of trainees. In terms of training other people. And any other one national security. Any military.
And I got information from almost sister that. Kwasi for recall retirement, but they will draft him back into the national security, which is allowed.
Oh, of course. But when your contract or national security,
national security, and they are bringing him back to national security. And trying to put a year as Ugunu Vinte. And as we speak, Matisse somebody a year this kind of a northern region. Let me check my information because they were just last week, just last 2 weeks they'll be framing from the military and they were complaining. So but the point is with that one there, Minya meka say Akufo-Addo mbe sofa kakra. Kenopoku Opoku.
I'll check. Caleb.
Yeah. Omudi Kenopoku come north. And they'll be using him.
It's a general.
Yes.
The general. Ekufo-Addo promotion.
And
Brigadier General.
Yeah. They'll be using him from that point. So the point is, but let me tell you, for that one dear. Can the Mama Akufo-Addo warning towards 2024 that the election is between Ghana, the ordinary people on the street, and their family? Trust me. They know. On my research on national security. They know.
Okay.
Somebody can or catch them. They have various reports on how tense the street no area ba. And young they trust me. Omo boys be on basic Columbia Ghana for be crash omo. Oh. 1992.
Yeah.
There a sea waterfall with the Rollins boys.
Yes.
Waterfall no.
Yes.
Sabina Ghana for be Akufo-Addo ni baumia. For that one, almost ready. Can the pie dance ni almost ready? They know that any attempt, and as we speak, I'm telling you, one more military, one pe Akufo-Addo any baumia to continue. There are many.
Yes.
Than check and Opoku. There are many.
Yes.
Crane as a boys in Tisi Chroma, Akufo-Addo in the family best of a papa. The only look, Akufo-Addo says the only a year more one say because now Kumasi will not support them
like they did before.
No way.
Good.
Kumasi will not support them. But Kumasi enya cover. It won't happen.
Good.
It won't happen. We have spoken to chiefs. Ashanti region. They won't get that cover. We are assuring Akufo-Addo. Yeah, 2020 we are lucky. Ajuma no no. And this for no look sharp. Then this for no omajuma ya ding. Oma bondodo. Omajuma di.
Omuni takasi ara.
What trend dey to na what trend no a. O hwe odin ya no aka cha so no trend this in 20 years. What trend na so nim nyansa obi kasmati. But this time around, me see they can do foco. Akufo-Addo omutimi foco. Let me tell you. Ube boys se be se what dey one the way say nkrofo confront woman ketenkete e was street mu
yes so my boys in
also Akufo-Addo be di ade no 4 or 5 years no be esro
goodwill he was enjoying goodwill.
Not only the goodwill now man for say esro no
yes say opam ohufo
na to the bema
na to the bema
na man for say esro no but say no well say
na for me ehufo no wa pam omo ama wa to omo bema
yes
also be so no ye bema e wo kwan
also say man for confront omo wo street mu ketenkete man for test omo person ketenkete
yeah
what there enu 2024 no wo de obehu oba
bi ka kire me say nesi su ame no akwane onye oseti say we nyane trade next time enye nsuo ebe cut classes oba
mimi ko Kumasi ema lady bi be ka kire me say mi ko Kumasi me ti bi na lady ni bae o say Bobie na akwa we amotu ohwe nu ye nti mu ye ma akura no mu ma ye niema ne ne mfansie ni
emba me pe ne ma di nesie ni
enam ka kire say manwini sade ni bi da ye be kwa akoto aba 2024
inshallah
ehono na the problem ne beba
inshallah
because ehono dey legitimately I have every you say me protect me na me protect me vote. I'm protecting myself and I'll protect my vote
and your future
and my future and you know there won't be cancer say treason that 7th December na day no pa there
7th 8th 9th
there be won't be in fact treason makroma
na treason no hwan e beka hwan there be nipa na ono beka treason no kra cho no ono kro be dwane
se me makoto aba na so obede be ma ba omia force ama wasan ama wa yusu ba omia de aba be wia oman na be ye ejapa because so de ejapa na to and am akọ meeting say omu be yusu eye boys akofa enkrofo free outside be ko na mo win 2024 no mo be ye ejapa no it will not work and you say you down
info analytics extra say a Japan deal no about 70% of Ghanaians don't even want to hear about it. They don't want the government to even go there. 70%.
My member sixth point no says significantly Project Break the Age also involves the targeting of all critical national voices, including those in academia, media, civil society, and even faith-based organizations.
Exactly.
Either buying them out, that is paying them for their silence, or hounding them using the instrument of state force, such as the security services, the military, and the police, and the instruments of the administrative state, such as the tax authorities and the regulatory authorities, and also aimed at ensuring their silence or support when the call on election 2024 is made on 8th December that year.
Exactly.
And they are doing it.
Exactly. That's what we have discussed. That they are interested in using the academia, people in civil society, people in trade unions, and people in corporate organizations and other, just to assault the state. That's it.
And the other side is Munka Mwanuntu Namonye.
Yes.
So Otabe will come and tell you say Washamwa.
You see, in those days, they use them against the government. When they are in government, they use them against the opposition.
Against the people.
Yes, the people's interest.
Not only the opposition.
That's it.
So when you have Duncan Williams to talk about the ills in the system, no culture say one day say obom pa yenkwa ontufo ono ntimi ntu biafo timpa yenkwa na obom then the next day you will see him no hwe wine no odiasa say ewiase ni nyamesom sa na ye no. Then you have as suffer we are.
Call the lesson also. A man call.
So
Christian Council on man call. Okay.
So they are there. But the point you say the last time a survey be a security team be here. Now people like Duncan Williams no for any abrom so street move.
No, if the government becomes unpopular, people who are getting the amount for father for a mine or boy a mine to try the mine. Oh no, who be he first? You say, Kitchen say, ni otu boa bono no, ni hu ye na hini senya, ojina nchen so no.
Say we need jine. All right. Seventh and finally, a brazen urge to do whatever is necessary to achieve set goals, no matter the cost to human lives, to the national economy, and to institutions built on a century and a half, including the most extreme methods of removing an electoral commissioner from office on trumped
up charges,
the first in our democratic history, and the storming of a certain call to free political operatives and apparatchiks in order to send a very clear message that the agenda will be accomplished by hook or crook, fair or foul, even if it leaves no man or woman standing. And all this is mediated and spurred on by a certain toxic masculinity that has taken aggressive capture of our politics.
That is, Professor Tugba is saying exactly what we were saying, that they've shown clearly that Sanya Yepese Yakono. What be jina ya name and what be jina ye nim se on ban ye kwan me ye ne se ye ama ye de boy ye ho ban wa ban mu no wo ne be yiwe fi ho. Enti so electoral commission o se wo ye judge o wo ye radio den ye be you. Anytime we about radio station and ajo 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I be sure Bobie Ansah here. As simple as that. No matter who you are, if you release away a threat, Emma political, but not the state, not the government, we a threat to my MPP, a minor survival. Who say the panel say you nudi. So that's simple as that. Into what judge the corona will say you are your boys in the bill no na all the boys in enko demu no. What's idea the corona? Yeah, the boys about court to a bit boo up so who just so Johnny.
But at this point, I never acquire for a reason say now who share NDC posture. NDC posture no one, they are trying to bring out a fine boy posture that oh yempesa mine jabetum mommy and kakra the fourth republic akolano ye ba maya nye bibia be say o mine o de loans no ya approve ye say ma omo o de say kufadu ye say kra de ye nja no ono opese o say o mine ye de ye mpese be say o mine. And most of political commentators believe say that posture give it an impression to the ordinary Ghanaian na opese obeboa NDC eko aju o my we say oni obi a owo hodenfo e de say utifie na da bia ne mema tifie but obi bewura ebebomo na okokọ ye fra bema no a oh anhwa ne de ade boni trimu ana moja aba saf nipa no bewura fie obi wa obi anu obebie na no akasa nipa no be ye de oye ofie obi akọ. And it seems like that is the picture NDC is painting on the street. That's all the NDC here. When it comes to, real issues, say, look, let's get to the street. NDC will just leave you to your fate.
Oh, no.
That is what amount for dim Komowo Street, it's because the Akufo-Addo ni Nebusuafo ne nkrofo ye no. Say, John Mahama ne wo government, and we are.
Oh yeah,
the MPP we know.
Oh yes.
So going into 2024, you need to show strength. That is what I believe, that NDC is not showing enough. Aggression. And yeah, Bema and Crawford who said, look, because 2016, from 2012 to 2016,
yes.
Now Akufo-Addo can send me a ginger.
Yes.
And Crawford Kromama, even the ordinary people were ready to join him to fight.
It's true.
Because they first said, yeah, Bearman in here.
No, say youth organizer of a political party in opposition can say that if you don't win this election, Afghanistan, that will tell you the level of aggression. And
a gada Crawford.
Of course. And me say, we are building up the politics to a certain level of momentum, but we will get there. Already, video boy. The NDC is not responsible for what this man is saying, but this man is so angry that obi slap on his here. Also, video I will show here in his community or watch him, baby, and what I just say.
Yeah,
he will line up his family people to do what they have to do. They will police the ballot box in their community. That community, even if the NDC polling agent, I could just the mudie MPP in some say, oma the votes crack home. Ebi owe dey 20 vote per omonfanka omonfansa ballot box no no aja demudie mpa wo sha papa we wo sha be pere
but it won't come automatically. No, I'm not sure. I'm just asking you a question.
You see, when the momentum in the country, heat in the country has been built up to a certain level where people are saying that this is the end 2024 now, so you are going. This government cannot use his voice to go and repeat what they did in Techima across all the police stations in the country.
You know, I've spoken about it. Yes. But the point is, Emba automatically.
You see,
it must be orchestrated.
It must be orchestrated.
Yes, that is true.
That is what I thought.
It's not just about the orchestration. You see, the willingness, no, to press the button, no, anyhow. And yeah, among for neka me can be. So NDC seems to be sitting on the fence and watch the majority of Ghanaians suffer and wallow in poverty. While they sit and watch and think, say, it's automatic, say, because Akufo-Addo has failed, it is possible for an NDC victory come 2024. And it is not so.
You see,
everything must be worked out. Look, let me tell you, Christian Council, MPP, worked out Christian Council.
Okay, so
yes.
listen.
Are you aware?
Yes, it's true.
My background.
It's true.
Listen,
yes.
my background to your discussion. Professor Atuguba. Akoye lecture bi.
Yeah.
And wama about 7 thematic bullet points. Areas are
underpinning the breaking the 8.
The breaking the 8 which we all know already.
Mm-hmm.
One, trying to gag the academia, the media, software, or to bribe them, the threats against voices,
voice of conscience.
Voice of conscience.
Training their boys
to
be able to rig elections.
Rig the election.
Take over the institutions, the electoral commission,
or capture. Your friend is say the financial sector to make sure so a break will be down. So I'm 7 points. So based on that, NMI bedru baby bedru discussion. So we have touched on those issues about the way they want to deal with amount for silence or more. Even as we sit here, minim anyamani bebre eya oma plan media jani anya bre minim anyamani bebre oma plan because they are oma said at the anyamani be gugu quarter from 2023 2024 they are going to get some of us busy. It's just they will make you busy that you won't get time to come and sit here in the evening to come and run your show. They have had all those meetings. Omo di won komo and omo nkrofo na freya catch said this is what they want to do. Then they all say our community engagement na no. Yeah, the demonstration.
Yes.
Omo your whole analysis. Omo your whole analysis at the national security level. I've read some of their responses. What I say, I've read some of their responses and the kind of so that is the reason why then it comes to the NDC point say NDC use 2 phases. Ebi feel say NDC ensure aggression kakra. Ne man krofonya gidie say oh say bibinia NDC beba beboa yen. Ebi so e believe say oh said the NDC pen for your argument no. Yen ye wo 4th Republic no. ma yenye bibia ebe say no so ye hu discussion na
correct me see because I have to move out the political activism towards an election it is done in stages. We have not reached the stage where we have gotten to the crescendo. In the run-up to the 2024 elections, there will be a time that if you raise your finger in the air, you can feel tension in the air. We've not gotten there yet. We'll get there. This is the period of public sensitization, awareness, and release of critical information to the masses.
Yeah, one I said, you
oh, but see, what?
Why now? Yes, sir, Jubano.
The party has national executives.
No. They are working. They are doing their thing. Yeah. I'm asking you on the street. Why now? Yes, sir, Jubano. For the past 3 years, Bobie Ansah has been on the street. Listen, I was street to the move.
Yes.
Mugabe was street to the move. We have been in the street gaja continuously.
Yes.
Even some of them, they go back and sleep.
Yes.
So why not just sensitization? Now why make build a crescendo? No.
Yeah. No, I'm saying no. What you are doing, it's a contribution to what will happen by say October 2024. Oh, this the amount of information that you are putting out, informing the Ghanaian people who are currently listening to us. Oh, there's a whole area, yo. You are not done. No, but we don't think that you are done. No, it's not done.
May retire radio next year.
It's not done.
May retire radio next year.
Come here. No, you can't retire.
Next year January.
Yeah, do you know?
May America kware.
Come na tie. Oh, our ben also our fan akon.
Yeah, come here.
The national assignment na oh you ha no. And more important than say ware na
come. Manya wale ni kokokokoko bi.
After 2025, you are no. See, I'm saying a time will come. If it's a NDC for a among Konja, a more canopy, sound system, I could see community say, yeah, but normal abeya creature. The pardon will be poor banner. It will be more than what you people had in the Rise Ghana.
Yes,
but I'm saying that it is building out. It will take a time. Yeah, look at the video be a mobile boy. The man, I was setting my comfort when somebody sent it to me that he knows this man from whatever. He's a businessman. Well respected. The boys follow him because he is angry, sitting in his office, opening his cabinet and insulting upon Nkrumah and giving it to him that he cannot mislead Ghanaians and take the Ghanaians are fools. Say economy na say no IMF. What say Russia-Ukraine war? It doesn't make sense to him. He's complaining about how his machines have been spoiled and his business is collapsing. That anger no, or say or non or lead in the family. Someone ye dimentia NDC or woman umpotem. No must have got to aba edit NDC. See on the family the boys some more under him. No, they are turning a porno boy no almost kusane. In 2024. In 2024, you don't need an NDC to come and tell him, say, how do you protect your ballot box? What I say? Even if the NDC polling agent, a mistake, our polling agent, one shall better slap.
Anyway,
that's a level of anger. I'm saying that it is the job that you are doing here. That's my grandmother, my grandfather, who is sitting in Mankasim, who will listen, be convinced, and will tomorrow morning say that he listened to Accra FM. Nani ekosuni say nkofana sell man. It is here and say your boy man no ba yes o mewi aba na eba no.
Anyway, mesre man for me ana meka say me ko retire no. Say the need for see send me message di matabo me phone so. Me ana me se me ko retire.
We nya nko bi.
Ai. E na wale ni kura no me nya ware no.
Oh na be ware no.
But so mo be celibacy.
There's all kinds of Roman father. All kinds of Roman father.
It's you there. Me anam kaya so because say the ntwamono esi Bobie phone so ne say ye nya ya we say aboso me nkro. But me anam kai mboa. Me ni ba bia ko.
Of what so dey
wan kan ye kra. Aware dey. Aware dey.
Anyway, so quick one. Listen, I mean, saw a video way, and you know, so yeah, another video. It's said the amount for any against this government, this regime.
Continue to confound humanity till their kingdom comes. We could observe that the world was created by Jehovah. J standing. Then Jehovah took, when the devil wanted to test the faith of men, Job was selected. He proved the devil wrong. And Jehovah decided to make Jacob his friend. And in the house of Jacob, Joseph was his most beloved child. And out of this came the Jews. And we were told that when the Jews were moving to the promised land, they met the walls of Jericho. And among all the Israelites, Joshua was the one selected to lead the choir that sang around the wall, and the wall collapsed. And when the Jews came to settle, they made Jerusalem their capital. And when Saul was persecuting David, it was the love of Jonathan that saved David. And when Jehovah finally decided to dwell among men, he chose Jesus, his begotten son. And among all the tribes of Israel, Jesus had to be born from Judea.
But listen, Professor Tukuba lays 7 points about near Kufadma as he said to break the 8. Nanka Nanome Kwabena Japan so our raising issue be say can Nadine say can Oferiata should go. Yeah. And Yantia come Japan the Menfa Adi way now. But when you Professor Tukuba, you know. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Okay, and I'm Menfa. All right. So on your show doesn't appear to understand the political dynamics of Ghana. Ghanaians currently want to see that NDC on the streets fighting for the ordinary people. Then they can join them. In fact, that vacuum is being filled now by Arise Ghana. Anyway, one from.
What do you make of, Honorable Ken Ofori-Attah's performance as a finance minister?
I think you enjoy picking particular ministers.
Why? I'm asking you. He's a finance minister holding a very important position in the country.
I think
what do you make of his performance?
Yes. It's part of a government. Of course, you have a finance minister. You should be able to have your own personal imprint. But as I said, the sweetness of the pudding lies in the eating. Is that not it? So this is where we've ended. So it's not for me to say anything. We are where we are.
And that's his fault, I mean.
Well, we are where we are. So, as a country, you, as they say, you reap what you sow. In life generally, you reap what you sow.
Should he resign? Should the finance minister resign?
I would think that on the basis of what he said 2 weeks before to the whole country, which is that we will never go to the IMF and we are a proud country, we have the resources. And when you speak like that, you should look yourself in the mirror and say, look, I got it wrong. Mr. President, I thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I should stand down.
What do you make of, Honorable Ken Ofori-Attah's performance as a finance minister?
I think you enjoy picking particular ministers.
Why? I'm asking you. He's a finance minister holding a very important position in the country.
I think
what do you make of his performance?
Yes. It's part of a government. Of course, you have a finance minister.
Kwabena Befi.
Mamen Chetty for Chowne, Minia Ben. I'm saying for the past since March this year.
Yeah.
He has had several engagements, radio engagements, TV, some of them commentaries, reports.
Yeah, that's all Befi.
Kwabena is Kwabena Japan. He has always been Kwabena Japan until after some time. I think he was knocked away by a turbulence, an unfortunate political turbulence. A year after he was suspended illegally suspended by the Kufado, Baumia, campaign team, and by some very recalcitrant and incorrigible, party stalwarts. In the history of the party, they have dented our image and made our image look like we are very lawless people who don't regard whatever, constitutionality or whatever lawfulness is about. They don't regard law and they disrespect and they have just dented their name MPP. And CK Tedem, the late, is one of them. Na yasi ono who send a friends and from our home in a very revered Reverend Asante Entry who used to, be a very good father until at some point he became a very, disloyal human being, didn't regard God, didn't regard anything, Bible, and now became a Kufado's, a friend, a puppet. And also so no. These are people that destroyed Kwabena Japan. And
no, but I want to be destroyed. No. It seems his comeback.
His comeback, yes, because I have been on him for several years, and I thank God that today Kwabena Japan has found himself relevant again. I thank God because Kwabena Japan onimnyanse pi ya Akufo-Addo was a kadebia no pa. You don't allow yourself to be misused by someone who has no knowledge, no wisdom, nothing, who is very clueless. You don't create a human being to that pedestal, leave him to come and be a waste on a country and a waste to your integrity, to your person, all because you have made him who he has to be.
Yeah.
What must and that history, is being corrected, I think he has to have time and reflect and write, something for public reading going into the future.
Yeah.
Because the Nyamieshan Yemonidua. What must I say? And Jah for the case, he who Jah bless, no one cares.
Rastafari.
I. Kwabena Japan, as I've known him for years, is the Kwabena Japan where you pain. And okay, some krana, obe fran into ma, and you're still paying because what can I drink? But I do, baby, krana, sabi, na, for a reason or two, you who say a mentor, your political mentor. And let me be very emphatic today. Kwabena Japan ti and Poafoko titru ene same crab entina eneno obia dwen ye say listo as he is against what is happening no. I am against because this is not MPP. Yet to me kwate party na ya fa mema abusua ya Akufo-Addo ne dia ni mu na gabia so tidako akwana ibata force ne nice cigarette no sakwano na ne na ase maba no onu ne odwene party ama ene Ghana for edan yen say ye ya ba be gi Ghana for sika ye na ye ntimi ntire de sika na ya ebusua ba ko pa wie sika no
but listen the point
wie sika no
but listen the point they say Kwabena Japan no mo kasa no mo kanene no because messages iba and nipa bebre feel say one Kwabena Japan afa de ukodi akira ya ma ohwenti no ena wani abre
yes
because Kwabena Japan ekodu omochi 2020
they are justified.
Some of us ye tune for say Kwabena don't go there. Wo Kwabena Japan wan ko phone so but so wo kokoye campaign no omo dada say koye no ebe ma chief of staff later omo promise you GMPC then they want to destroy you afa no ahunu say omo you free agronum so opeso obeye dede ma omo peeved in the party ni follow and that is my worry with a year for fashion no omo dino that you sat down for the person to destroy the country, destroy the party 2 years or afena obekane. What are you coming to talk about?
Kwabena, when you say I find wisdom in some of the things the Kufo faction or majority of us who are almost having a political god in Kufo some of us maybe the Nyakupon Adumunti have never been quiet. Majority of them that are quiet, they have been quiet because one, enye suro, ebimu suro, piinsu suro, omu suro no, omu like, omu ye fearos from the ages, omo de omo suro yeah omo no kra no they have never been part of any friend is saying systemic ABR.
Yeah.
But most of them, their silence was to prove to the Ghanaians say, sir, a future now President Kufuor 2 Ghana for the MPP through in 2007. Say, yes, penny, what you are baby and any drew no. A college na bronsenso said the cra one ruho, nani ruho. And until na ye kokoba President Kufuor de bo Ghana. And it through nam MPP amayoko ne so
MPP no de bo
no na MPP Ghana mu
MPP na de Kufuor be kire Ghana for
and I may say MPP efutu na President Kufuor de ba ye no wan kan MPP keke o kan mane ko Ghana say after say nipa na tumi enya tumi no kra no ebedrum rebi no na Ghana fo soja fo ne ahwe kra ontimi hold the power no o kan ni no kan so both voice now it's like a prophetic word. Meanwhile, he was speaking to the consciences of the many MPP delegates. Omun kwanko fa jatabru jataba emani me jatabru wa mani me say. Your friend is oman no. And oni penifoni bi kasa. Akoye say Ekufuor abeye your friend is saying beye ya de eto kokko ani kosua and a bit my pamono. Yan kakra now only any 4 years now I can and 2 yeans and a half.
An easy attitude.
Oh, and they think say a automatic say 4 years no beso manako. Enti no kwa na chese wa nya na chihwe. Papa no so no ne plan no enya 4-year plan. Into the foreseeable future.
Gabi, the treaty, Omwini, you know.
Yeah.
Omwini power na Gabi treaty say MPP bedi 40 years. Ewa kunyaso. Enya 40 years no. Onim. But at least they are striving for 12, 16.
Yeah.
Then they can hold the party back to back to maybe 2020. So they say penny for be adi bonino. Hold the power akopem time ombe free system ombe wu ako.
Yes.
Then they leave it. Because when they leave power, media me. So me can their batteries they can say, our plan,
yes,
to stay or hold on to power for long,
yes,
so that obedient mean prosecute obedient mean your
oh, and nunti, and mpempino, and penifo p. I am no mudin kitahono. Me bo mo puno me kano Emma omo kaise. Se say na nka bia emre bia atwamu omo ye ya nka bia nka MPP anya power bio da e wo Ghana ha wo de ma Kufuor nya akonya no MPP be bre papa they know now knowing that no they go to MPP ordinary members no hono ma ka chom say say ya nya power mo na mbebre ni penso so what power no or breakten say NDC kura power omo taxi bebrebe NDC wo power omo ehun hin ha omo chance say the MPP wo power because say MPP ya and Kufuor tisui wo de tutu president Kufuor de ho enye ye say MPP we ya Kufuor tisui MPP a wono no wo ma party ba bibi ni wo bro party ba I make sure say party banner e be kra ni business ewo baby a all thrive no e make money no sa nipa no want me nya successful e ma meje party ni nkenten so eno ye ni preoccupation anu nti no o ma party ni enya sika
yeah
se party ni ye contractor obegu adwuma I make sure say want me fa wo contractor adwuma no e menya sika e ma meye nipa kase bi wo party na we take decision wo party ni ama party mafa anu nti or cripple aboa bra usun Ansah no watie so opposition so no make sure so opposition for no so no obebuo mo abra omusun in the end wa magana fo nyina aye impoverished na wono nkwani na busua no o man sika bebrebe nyina amapia kogu omu dem na fe omu da manipulate elections ente bedrum rebi no o mo so ombe yi NDC elections executives no may MPP executives, no may you CPP executives, no may you GCPP executives, no may you all political party executives. Now mumasa kwa mo flag bearer ni your mono option. More option no, then it means whether they are in power or they are out of power, no, they are controlling the system.
And that is what Professor Atugubas.
And so that is just in line with all that we have always been discussing here.
Yeah.
Oh, and this plan was hatched some years ago, about 2004. And I'm planning Sanyoma Wayne, and I'm build on it gradually. The synopsis was done in 2004 when Akufo-Addo decided to contest President Kufuor. And at some point he realized, no, I'm having to join him. So a bus, the Akoba and say, and yes, build it another way. Then some of the people are stalwarts are Omubetimi, Ama, and Imonyamwa. I was say bedi ye hono e be hwere no yen sa se ntwitwa omo nan yen clear omo and Kwabena Japan was one of them because they realized say for example Udu Asante Mamu a ye ka political animal or ye one of the fittest na osaye youngest Kwabena kan sabi uyi the first line no
but listen
to say ora anane to say ora
yes
kabaka asafu kabaka yamankwa uyi asarbedi akonom uyi the late
asarbedi akokra dey say later obeka omo.
Oh no, he has never been. I mean,
Mesia Sarabedi Akune Gabi Tokro bi so many times.
No, say,
listen,
we are not enemies. We are not enemies.
No. I know what I'm talking about.
Bear in mind. We are not enemies.
Jamame, mankadi
No. What can you? Why not?
No. Me who you know. Me nyakola politics.
Yes.
Neither
are they. Obibeti fanse party about power. And you ma okan ye bi wo wa. Ebia power abentino. You are trying to also position yourself well. Send a better party for be beka say MMK say wo kra no oye the boy need to say the list or yes me the boy need.
Don't worry.
Eh ya ono an life. In the end say we hu ne dey. What ma say? We hu ne dey, we hu ne smoothness level. I know na Gabi na say no Gabi amane you say why then. And these are things that we cautioned them omantie me na na kan asem say se wutu nyansani fo na wantia ehu nyansani ni so nyansani biem because nyansani ontra mo bi ntu ne fo ono abetu ne ho fo na mo wasa watena wa ma wono antu ne ho fo e na wo wakotu ne fo ba na nyansani na wakotu ne fo no se wada ne kwasia no what me fan ko prenye nje o
but amanfo bebre gidi say omo ewo part no mu a like currently you have Boache Jakon trying to talk, you have Atakere Didi Oshasi Ache, Dr. Mwako Banum about for you say omo amwa oman Ghana because omo who said the Akufo-Addo city and even in 2020 say nkasa voices we nyina sore beboa probably nipa don't care we have to be getting rid of him and his family. Our money is free.
Yes, but you see, 2020, most of these people, they still were convinced to say it was early days yet. Because, for example, Oma Penny Kufuor ba bemu 4 years where who so in the second term
but when you are minor bonnet,
how many people had the information and
the normal information so be the 2.7 billion at destroy banks 2.7 billion dollars
they had it but such people I've told you said their IQ levels no from papa
there be enti me ni Dr. Abwakuma wan enim nkonta
only Dr. Abwako ba ubusam say wan enim nyansa meka say
wa nyansa because say obi the 2.7 billion dollars
Kwabena anya obi onim kontabo nanim nyansa
so
ye di nyansa na e ka se wa ha me sa school sem na me ba hu se me ba studio muslim me jai school sem to
me
because Kwabena you pana ye no mo ka se Ghana hanom no how many people are as intellectuals as you or I or as any other person who may have gone to school and how many people understand things as you appreciate them.
Now, me peke Dr. Amwakuba because onim sa analysis.
Yeah.
But maybe that time,
it's possible.
Exactly.
It's possible.
That is the reality.
Most and you see, politics, Kwabena, what makes some political animals behave that way, no? May I be very blunt. Kwabena, I don't think, Sebi, Obia or a politician, Biano, only selfish interest. I don't think so. But you see, the ma obi to say Mahama or Danson, the ma obi to say Kufuor Danson, the ma obi to say Kwame Nkrumah Danson, and they say, even with their selfish interests, they still find the national interest more of a priority. Because according to say President Kufuor akasa no tai ka say, do ye hwehwema de bia ni wo pepa ne nsakwa. So we are there na efa. Kwabena wase da de mo. But when they when they oil side for just one no adwuma no ono so a wo sai man na diska no asiska ni bia sesa bia kwa kosie e dia ba be bobra bone atio man no. I mean, you cannot compare such a person no and Kwabena many umienu no Akufo do wo position o e na ye hu na adwene ye hu ne sinto ye hu ne bone e woni trim yehu ye time no me nua Kwabena Japan no me ko uni say at some point because she a party for bi no imagine you say kasa na me kasa obedwam no ebi kura Kwabena Japan kura semachi eso na Kwabena ne me ko ukura ya we
yeah
several times Kwabena frame ya o tu me fo na ya bibia nya botre na maka chen say me nya botre makromfo tutubotom ni ti say Akufo me ka chen ni pain one day kura bi there offer me to speaker. Omo anko for na me na beka kire me. Ebusa me question e we Akufo do anim. Na Akufo do coordinate be bod dem ko man ka te phone na coordinate niti we ni ti na esi ni kon so no coordinate be bod dem because Kwabena nipa yete party ni say yete party no with the firm belief say new man rolling say ye no ebi ni say ogun kofo nyuma obi anim ye ko so boache mattress obi anim Edu Brothers obi anim new plan obi anim your friend is saying Apino obi anim now utimi ba bemu several years after Rollins and kwasi asem yeah sis ha brand na nke friend ba Jimmy bre na wu Jimmy a woni Rollins wan na Jimmy Akufo wan na betimi aka chem say Akufo do ni nyansa te Rollins enem mrem nyansafo ni abajimi bre kra ene untimi fa wo ho say ene wo sima kwakọ fa sika 25 billion ade agu adwuma ni hia just about 3.5 billion
ya wake de ba dollars mu ohia o de ba dollars mu a 2.7 plus ya va 2.8 billion dollars oko IMF akwa pe 2.8 billion dollars busia or the 2.8 billion no agu banka no be hia 9 billion Ghana cedis
just say it would dream one as okay me say such a person no
but you see onyimi oyekronfo
obi te say Kwabena Japan
onyimi ye oyekronfo
onim die ni onyansan wo trimu nyina no me nana poku a me nru o pedigree as Kwabena Japan ya me say no ebi a wo na be say wo be fa me say me your mentor because what she say amagana fo hu say Kwabena Japan na ye nimu pa na ye di wachi ye no ko bob bra ye nim say wo de ye ka mpanifo ye no mo nam na wo na ye the youngest but wo na wo sabi wadwene da fo mo a wo tene o ma so wo te brase wo nim wo so a wo nim bibia no am Akufo do adada
okay quick comments here one quick comment says Kwabena, please tell Mr. Suman that the ordinary citizen he's expecting to automatically protect the ballot also knows that when he risks his life to do so, it's leaders of the NDC who benefit most. It is the leaders of the NDC who benefit most. The NDC shouldn't relent this on the ordinary citizen because people are subject to change. Don't leave this to the ordinary people. They need that push from the biggest opposition party, and that is where my argument was.
Text so nya adwen wo ba bi say Kwabena NDC ewo ho no se ene ye nyina Kufuor de ekogu pobunu bi mu a ye hwe se NDC for ye hwe MPP for one protect your ballot your future na one protect enye obi a obepe ni post adi wo NDC mu na one protect no Kufuor will further destroy this country if you don't protect your ballot. It's a communal labor. So the word koto say NDC ni bi ba be ebenya ni post enu ti me pen na me protect me ballot. Ye ba ye gu bank no kwabra omo ye aduma bank no NDC executive bi anasa NDC pani bi ye aduma bank.
Listen tie.
But you see much as we speak about just to land. Okay. Much as we speak about aduma e was NDC for year omote fence so no. We will come there. The citizen no must always be awakened on the conscience and on the fact, sir. And yeah, and this inti and also protect your ballot.
Yes.
And yeah, and this inti.
But listen,
Magana who asem ense wutirimu kane. Sir, or minor say no. Ebi a NDC for are lucky to be the only second political party. For. Hence, our contribution to make an NDC flag bearer a president and for him to better manage the economy and Ghana for us all. It's a chance. And they have built themselves to that capacity. But it is not for us to make it look as if, say, and this in Tina was say, will be sorry or pa. Me and Nami and this in okay, so can I come in? Why must I wake up or why must I abandon my bed? When me so I wasn't by no work, I could tema unyamane. Okay,
the argument they say Onipa noa ote yemfa se bontefu ono obra dada wo te laboni cantonment and now the wanya air condition now them bank na egu no make say ni fie kura no bi anya adwuma o bank ho ono affect no Agongo Bank heritage no ho any ho enya ne hwe say nipa no okoka kire ne say yagu bank na affect no a enti ono no ensori nkoye de ma politician a ohwe anim so odwan ya wo hu semna ye wo nipa ni bi wo listen as I'm talking to you ye wo bi wo Ghana ha ono nko awukura nko ope abrabo wo mu no say nipa no o ka say ono of a politician say one sorry no anko kasa na say of a dachi ebe say ho obese say kura no owu because obi asori enne ya me no ka say I'm telling you aduane a yedi no awia kura de koda no odi say aduane half eya ye no kura na siwa ma de achi listen say nipa we o so ono no enkasa ma say edu nkatia na wan kasa ni future ono no ni future ni bi. You see, no meba. The point me say change emma kwa enti any yet political party. Yet political party, yet asore, yet akuakuo, emo nipa de feel sense of belonging. Entina Rollins TC Chrome in 79 and in the 80s no, onya the masses because he was able to identify himself with the masses.
That's true.
And the masses also identified themselves with him. And they followed him. NDC. So when you are a leader and you don't go down there to identify yourself with the people, you fight alone. Nobody will fight with you. And if I know, okay, I say, oh no, to bontefu no. And ya also on the future mu ye no. The future the NSA. The future no. Adebi obebiano. The beneficiaries are there. The beneficiaries no omu wini we are obi anim ni ono ni bio. However, we are looking forward for good policies. Ne bia baba betia kano.
No.
Enti wo to ono after that policies no dey wo ebi nkan. Wo to them na best no dey ebi nkan. Ebi be come once you dibu post to wanya double ono onya one benefit.
One into also common dey ho ban.
Enti am one na wo no tra them never ji two.
On kasa on tena dem kwabra me point ni say de ono ye pani wo party ni mu no eni kwan se ye ja ne se won tena dem ena de ono so te abonten a wo ye common floor member te se me ameti he no eni kwan se ye su ye tena dem
they are ready
You see, the readiness of the grassroots, has been there ever since.
And your grassroots, we are talking about.
And the downtrodden, let me expand exactly. The rank and file, exactly. The Ghanaian.
Exactly.
It's been there already. It's been there even when in 2020, Kwabena. Kwabena, Oshaya. You said that nye juma peace out. Even though we worked, some of us said ye tu kwai Kumase, home Western region, kokoko your friend is said bono, ye kokoko baby bebre, kwaye juma, boy devil man conform. Oshaya. And no, there was a amayophone, omodo imagine koso. Satam nana COVID abano. Na yetimi nya te say rallies akese e wo man mu meboa enso so no the way na ekoye ye no ema abefo kwan a na efa so na ti radio so ye church nioma Kwabena for example ye ko Kumase wo be kaya sadana na Kwabena Japan Kumase
yeah
ensema na Kwabena Japan tie no ye hwe Facebook no se nipa 10 na ye hwe na ye na nipa a hwe na ebro 1 million
yeah
meboa
yeah
sadano na me hu say even in Ashanti region no omumpe etro na akoso na tie biem
so
now sa ade na ayeye no etre se enye amayoku nkoa nemum ebeye papa se amayoku no so betimi atie si fom no akoye adwuma na we identify ne ho with the grassroots no na grassroots no so etimi identify themselves like we are saying in reference to the Rollins here no however Kwabena, like Benjamin said, at this stage, okay, Kumasi Assembly America, Camille Yefino.
Yeah.
Okay, say, Obia or ya assemblyman, Obia, what the post, yeah, Sabi or ya enlightened, Wakosuku, Waben, ya onim Ansah, a wonim dear. Onim send your money at studio Wakano, Obedia Chinye. Meboa, Obedia Chinye said, German see a hospital beer or a Greek in Zama. One ye ne checks assemblyman ne frɛ bam meboa and one was a call no text will say we sorry now we call here we say JMSC clinic is it clinic or hospital
a chip compound
is it chip compound I agree and no text bro me one here to studio worker na man for nyini so at this stage it's not much to do with your friend is saying geja. It's much to do with the conscientization. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set them free. Once they get to know the truth, once they get to know the true state of affairs, once they get to know say Kufuado once they get to know say Kufuado was Sanyoma Bonebo, Kufuado ne Gabia South da konoma kronfo no ne kanoforiata no o ma wi o man no e de bo mo bra e de ye o ma busua e de ye o mo krom chebi. Then the Ghanaian is equipped to understand why e was so kokon e de ne ho. What must I say? So that stage if you miss this stage, they won't even know why they should go out. They won't. Arise. Here quite demonstration. Kwabena. The main reason why I say Yanko outreach is to just let the public understand why they must come.
That is what any be.
No, but I'm saying say Sabrina you can't see Sadia no. Over Kaya. Now I say about phobia and what you say, oh yeah, announce date now on Beba. But who say static community engagements I feel people now began to understood the issues. And yes, radio now what in one too. But Bobie abejna manim abekasa. Enu ti wate ase. Enu na ye pese ye ma amayofo no ni amayokuo mu panifo no.
That is what we are talking about.
But I don't want any Ghanaian to sit and say amayokuo nipa na amanti no ono so te ho.
Meba. Okay, all right. Okay.
What is my point? I say. My point is say, Kwabena, any kwan say obi de hye ni tirimu say. Ense edun ketia NTC from John Mahama NTC from your friend is saying Ofosompo from NTC from Akamba de ebi awada.
Akamba now he's working.
Me see Ebia wada. Me support Akamba. Ma can publicly. Me support Akamba.
Okay.
Ebia wada. Ebia na mpanifo mo party ni mu nyina no. Oma deda. Enu nti no ono so akwakoda. Menua. Ukoda yese wo don sahye wo damri famu a sabio eye kotokro enkoda keka wo ho na wo mpanifo na omada no radio yi bra na beka pani a wada no be boneti anya me no nko na wo se ka me nya ndisi ni relax e treatment na hanom na me meka ndisi fa asem mo
relax ade di no me boneti onko no onko bo aban nachi. There's no need for him to wake anybody up. Oh,
there's no need, saying. No, Asema Okano, you are trying to side with people who are thinking, say, me penny and sorry, to me sorry.
No, because penny now, I'm sorry, no. Because on first hour, they don't come by Nechimum. There is no need to talk about two penny.
None penny now or any party, no, yet.
Thank you.
Huh?
Anyway,
me penny for your bonia, I could follow your crow for menka. Major party, no. A 2-year party banner penny be the bonnet. Said your mamma now so few say wada. On sorry, on kekane ho. Abeka. Okay, so will be our no. 83-year-old man now. One also be pepper flag bearer dinner. The company for Crontimin Mokano. One no, one him, why governor no. No one church a party for Cano. One also so as I say, also acquire a hotel project no. So no, if you say you mono dorswa, Beka. Not one who test it, no, test it, baby. Becca.
All right. Thank you. Live on Accra 100.5. So that's it. So yeah, kwana yeba. The idea is at the end of the day, ye pese obi bia e Kenya in adwene no sorry. Say yet now and Professor Atuguba ne lecture no o kai ni ya e clear. Me Bobie Ansah me claim my mind says Akufo-Addo win in the third term in 2024 they will destroy this country and me immediately basically I am out of this country because there will be no future for Ghana. So Akufo-Addo win in the third term and that is what Gabi Kendo Pokunom I know Mewafa Kandapa doesn't support their idea to stay in power on no ground wabre, but one more person will cover almost and say NDC trauma and Crawford we need 2024 on be good NDC that one almost fashion was all right, so that's it. Thursday evening. Top Choco, thank you so much. Edu Aba Clinic, thank you so much. Eclipse Collateral. Quick Credit Investment, thank you. Gianna Charles Clinic, Negotiated Benefit Trust Company. Greenfield Scientific Aba Clinic. Alu Africa. Let them say. Kwesi SWAT. We are done, we are out. Nyame Aduma Saturday morning. We are here. Nyame Aduma Sunday. We are. Yawasumdwe Park. Thank you so much. We are done. We are out. Ose.
Obi donating to money be mama. Na same be hu hinti.
We be friend.
Say me friend to ma.
Enjoy your evening.
Da 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 da. Yeah, quand on touche, elle est broyée. Umrebe so ye betu usia bare. Mudi yedi, kwa jebesi a. Na mode mabusia fo abeche. Ye kwa no nya wo se ye ka na enye. Ma ye ka ne a wo se kwada no suya de. Enti wo refi se su good time no ebubu. Yeah yeah yeah. You belly fool where they kill you. So corruption and they slow down. Parliament, you know. It's not 2-5 music. Daddy, what's up? It's another blue jeans thing, you know. We see 100 really is all the fun music that you possess. It on. But why Who they want to be again? Yeah. Who they want no fire? Who? What to him, Rade? It's a yama to me. Oh, may you move a ya brabo be fe. Nenupe, no ma ya pabe. Ye be ya pro yama ya kwabe. Papa was he council, he made the hill. Oko Jesse Chana wa Brian Ponyono. A memo bonny as he control boy.